Success is not solely a product of talent or hard work. It is fundamentally grounded in emotional control. When emotions such as frustration, fear, or doubt take flight, even the most talented individuals can falter. Although emotions wield significant influence, if not managed properly, they can obscure judgment, harm relationships, and result in rash choices. It is essential to recognize that high achievers are not devoid of emotion. Rather, they have learned to master their feelings without allowing them to dictate their actions. They pause instead of reacting impulsively and remain focused even amidst chaos. The ability to manage emotions is not a sign of weakness. It is a strategic advantage, particularly when facing challenges. This skill is crucial for sustained success. In the forthcoming moments, I will outline the internal changes that differentiate individuals who are driven by their emotions from those who wield control over them. You will discover how to curtail impulsive reactions, cultivate emotional discipline, and train your mind to remain composed amidst turmoil. Ladies and gentlemen, the genuine key to personal success does not lie in external circumstances, but in our capacity to govern our emotions. Time and again, history has revealed this fundamental truth through exceptional individuals who have risen to greatness despite modest beginnings, largely due to their adeptness at managing their emotions. Take Abraham Lincoln, for instance, a name synonymous with resilience and composure. Born into poverty, Lincoln encountered numerous setbacks and heartaches. Yet, he demonstrated an extraordinary ability to maintain calmness and steadiness amidst chaos. His journey was not characterized by ease, but rather by the disciplined management of his internal state. As he famously stated, "Most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be," which reflects his belief in emotional self-governance as a cornerstone of his journey. The peak of his emotional mastery was evident during the tumultuous American Civil War. Confronted with national turmoil, widespread conflict, and profound personal losses, Lincoln's steadfast composure became one of his most potent assets. Instead of succumbing to despair or panic, he constructively channeled his emotions, guiding the nation with clarity and conviction. His calm, measured responses transformed potential crises into vital opportunities for unity and progress. Lincoln's emotional intelligence not only defined his presidency, but also solidified his legacy as one of America's most revered leaders. The capacity to control one's emotions extends far beyond the realm of leadership. It permeates every aspect of personal and professional life. When you learn to harness your emotional responses, you transition from being reactive to proactive, from impulsive to reflective, and from vulnerable to empowered. Controlled emotions become invaluable tools on your quest for your goals. In contrast, unchecked feelings can confine you to mediocrity, stress, and failure. How many opportunities have been lost to anger, fear, or frustration? How many relationships have deteriorated because of uncontrolled emotions? Choose this moment to consider your mind and feelings as your greatest allies. Visualize your emotions not as uncontrollable forces, but as internal engines that can propel you to outstanding heights when skillfully guided. By choosing to master your emotions, you tap into a deep reservoir of strength and resilience, unlocking vast potential. Let today mark the initiation of your journey toward emotional mastery. Start by observing your feelings, comprehending their origins, and channeling their energies in constructive ways. Make a deliberate effort to remain composed during adversity, optimistic amid uncertainty, and steadfast in your pursuit of excellence. Mastery of your emotions does not only lead to different responses, it alters who you are as a person. You will acquire remarkable clarity of purpose, unyielding strength, and an unparalleled ability to positively influence your surroundings. The key to realizing your boundless potential lies within your grasp. By mastering your emotions, you unleash your most formidable internal strength, paving the way for a life rich in achievement, fulfillment, and greatness. The first critical step to mastering your emotions is to establish clear, compelling objectives. Without precise direction, your feelings can scatter, becoming reactive and ultimately ineffective in propelling you forward. However, when you set vivid and compelling goals, your emotions transform into powerful allies, guiding and energizing your path to success. Consider Thomas Edison, an individual synonymous with persistence and innovation. Edison illuminated the world, not by chance, but through the relentless pursuit of a clearly defined aspiration to create a lasting, practical electric light. His journey was not smooth. It was filled with thousands of trials, setbacks, and failures. Yet, Edison's unwavering clarity of purpose served as an emotional anchor, allowing him to remain resilient and optimistic. He famously proclaimed, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each setback became a stepping stone rather than an emotional barrier, entirely because his objective was defined with crystal clarity. Why does clarity in your goals exert such significant influence over your emotional state? The answer lies in the nature of our minds. Without clear goals, emotional energy can drift aimlessly, reacting to daily frustrations and distractions. Clearly articulated goals, however, provide a definite point of reference, a beacon guiding emotions constructively toward achievement. Instead of being overwhelmed by temporary setbacks or distracted by momentary pleasures, your feelings align with your aspirations, propelling you steadily forward. Today, I urge you to take a moment to specify what it is you truly wish to achieve. What does your electric life consist of? What goal would bring you satisfaction, pride, and fulfillment? This could encompass a career milestone, personal growth, financial freedom, or improved relationships. Clarity is vital. To make this process effective, write down your goals explicitly. The act of writing reinforces both commitment and clarity. Go a step further by visualizing your objectives daily, vividly imagining yourself accomplishing them. When you consistently visualize, your emotions start to resonate deeply with these goals, channeling enthusiasm, determination, and confidence. Your subconscious mind engages, continuously working behind the scenes to steer you toward your desired outcome. Moreover, the precision of your goals directly influences their emotional power. Vague aspirations yield weak emotional energy. Specific and detailed goals, on the other hand, activate your emotional compass, creating intense motivation and powerful momentum. Instead of stating, "I want success," clarify what success specifically looks like. "I want to achieve financial independence by age 35," or "I will secure my desired promotion within 12 months." Such specificity offers tangible targets for your emotional energy to relentlessly pursue. The process is straightforward yet transformative. Define, document, and visualize your goals. This daily ritual ensures your emotional energy is purposefully directed, enabling you to overcome obstacles, maintain focus, and sustain motivation even during challenging times. Every clearly defined goal serves as a lighthouse, guiding your emotional responses and allowing you to remain on course, regardless of how turbulent the waters may become. Emotional mastery begins with the clarity of your aspirations. Just as Edison's precise goals propelled his resilience, let your clear and compelling objectives energize and steer your emotional compass. By precisely defining what you want to achieve, your emotions transform into powerful tools, accelerating your journey toward success and fulfillment. In the 1950s, Walt Disney encountered numerous crossroads. Battled by rejection, financial difficulties, and skeptical investors, the world viewed a man who dared to dream too broad and differently. Yet Disney, fueled by his vision and fortified by emotional resilience, transformed failure into a launching pad. The world ultimately received not merely a company, but a universe of imagination. Disneyland, which opened in 1955, became a beacon of creativity, joy, and relentless perseverance. Disney's journey imparts a crucial truth. Resilience is not simply about enduring hardships. It is a unique strength that enables one to thrive emotionally during them, confronting challenges with the spirit that insists, "This too shall make me stronger." Emotional resilience does not signify the absence of pain or fear. Rather, it embodies mastery over how we respond to them. Life does not promise smooth sailing. Each of us faces tests through adversity at some juncture, whether through career failures, relationship breakdowns, financial instability, or internal struggles with self-doubt. At these moments, we encounter two choices: to succumb to our struggles and be overwhelmed by them, or to rise, learn, and allow these hardships to forge a stronger spirit. Disney opted for the latter path. He famously said, "All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me." These words were not merely empty sentiments, they encapsulated the philosophy he maintained through every setback he faced. Where others might have crumbled, he adapted, learned, and pressed on with renewed vigor. Emotional resilience is cultivated just as muscles are built, through stress, strain, and recovery. You do not become emotionally strong by shunning discomfort. Growth occurs through it. The key lies in how you interpret your experiences. Do you view challenges as punishments or as preparations? Do you see failure as an ending or as essential feedback? Each challenge you confront is an invitation to construct an improved version of yourself. Every moment you respond with courage, perspective, and self-belief reinforces your emotional core. Think of each challenge as emotional weightlifting. It is painful and stretches you, but ultimately shapes your inner strength. Decide today to respond positively to adversity, irrespective of its difficulty. This does not entail denying your feelings. Instead, feel them. Acknowledge your pain, anger, or disappointment, but rise above them. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can this experience mold me into someone better, wiser, and more empowered? Start with small practices. When challenges arise during your day, a missed deadline, a disagreement, or an unexpected obstacle, pause. Breathe. Instead of reacting emotionally, respond purposefully. Train your mind to identify the lesson before the loss, the growth before the grief. Over time, these small victories will accumulate, much like how Disney transformed his rejections into stepping stones. You too will learn that your past pains can become the foundation for your future power. Emotional resilience is not acquired overnight. It is cultivated through consistent effort, mindful reflection, and a steadfast commitment to your growth. Remember that setbacks do not signify weakness. They are the proving grounds for your strength. Life does not break you, it unveils you. Within you lies an immense well of untapped emotional power, awaiting awakening. Walt Disney gifted the world castles, characters, and childhood memories, but perhaps his greatest gift was the unspoken lesson behind his smile. That dreams are not constructed solely by talent or luck, but by an indomitable spirit that refuses to give up. Therefore, when life throws you a curveball, envision Disney standing amidst rejection and hardship, sketching out a world that no one else believed in. Let this image serve as a reminder: the capacity to endure and grow resides within you. Embrace every challenge, not as an obstruction, but as a blueprint crafted to awaken the strongest, most resilient version of yourself. In doing so, you will discover that no adversity surpasses your ability to rise above it. Now, consider the humble beginnings of Henry Ford. Born on a farm in rural Michigan, Ford had limited formal education and few resources. However, he possessed a vision and an unwavering belief in it. He envisioned a world where the average person could own a car, and he devoted his life to making that vision a reality. The path was anything but easy. Ford faced ridicule, continual failures, and overwhelming criticism. Yet through it all, his steadfast self-belief proved to be his most valuable emotional asset. His story is not merely about innovation, it serves as a profound lesson in emotional mastery. Each time someone deemed his ideas foolish, he refrained from internalizing their doubt and instead used it as fuel. This emotional resilience, the refusal to let outside opinions diminish his internal convictions, permitted him to transcend limitations. Through unwavering belief, Ford revolutionized not only the auto industry, but the very fabric of American society. This kind of belief transcends intellect alone. It springs from profound emotional alignment with one's purpose. Your emotions are interwoven with your self-belief. They shape one another. The stories you narrate to yourself and the inner monologue that plays in your mind daily determine whether you advance with confidence or retreat into self-doubt. Confidence is not a gift. It is an emotion that can be cultivated. It arises when you consistently affirm your worth, value, and capability. If your internal narrative is steeped in self-criticism and fear, then your actions will mimic that narrative, causing you to hesitate, procrastinate, and shy away from opportunities. However, if your emotional dialogue acknowledges your strengths, recognizes your growth, and embraces your potential, your actions will reflect confidence, courage, and commitment. Consider this. Every extraordinary achievement in history began with someone who chose to believe in themselves when no one else did. From scientists and inventors to artists and leaders, a common thread connects them all: emotional self-belief. This belief is not always logical and often contrasts with what others deem reasonable, but it is undeniably real and immensely powerful. You possess that same power. Right now, you can choose to rewrite your emotional narrative and shift the story that plays in your mind. Start by recognizing the moments when doubt creeps in. Do not resist it. Acknowledge it. Then respond with the truth. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are continually evolving. Develop daily rituals that reinforce this truth. Speak affirmations aloud. Document your strengths and accomplishments. Surround yourself with reminders of what you've overcome. Visualize your goals and imagine yourself living them. Let these practices fortify your emotional core. As you do this, confidence will evolve from a fleeting feeling into a permanent state of mind. Choosing to believe in yourself is not arrogance. It is a demonstration of self-respect that honors your potential, even when the world has yet to recognize it. Just like Ford, your belief may be the only barrier between you and your breakthrough. And that belief should be fiercely guarded, nurtured, and protected. Today, consciously choose to align your emotions with your greatness. Stop awaiting external validation. You are the author of your emotional narrative. Craft it to be one of strength, clarity, and unwavering belief. Remember, your self-belief determines the ceiling for your success. The higher you believe you can ascend, the more you will rise. So, elevate your expectations, stand firm in your potential, and allow your emotions to support the incredible future that lies ahead. Passion is deeply intertwined with success. It serves as the fuel driving us, the spark transforming effort into excellence. Passion is not a transient emotion. It is a sustaining force that adds meaning, direction, and intensity to our lives. In its absence, even the most meticulous goals can feel devoid of purpose. With it, we discover our capacity to achieve what once seemed unattainable. Consider the life of Albert Einstein. As a young man, he faced misunderstanding and ridicule, often labeled as slow by teachers and struggling within traditional academic frameworks. Yet, none of this impeded him. Why? Because his passion for physics burned brighter than any external doubt or discouragement. This passion fueled his perseverance, shaped his thoughts, and enabled him to redefine our understanding of the universe. The theory of relativity, one of the most significant scientific achievements in history, emerged not out of obligation, but out of deep obsession and joy. Passion ignites your emotions, providing the energy to move forward even when the journey is arduous. It instills focus in the face of distractions and resilience when failure threatens to undermine your foundation. Passion keeps you awake, not from worry, but from excitement. It transforms challenges into puzzles and setbacks into motivations. Without passion, life becomes mechanical. You go through the motions, waking up without purpose. But when you discover what truly sparks your spirit, everything transforms. You stop merely existing. You begin to live and thrive. Passion is not exclusive to artists or inventors. It is available to anyone willing to search inward and ask, "What energizes my spirit?" Or, "What would I pursue even without compensation or recognition?" It could involve writing, teaching, building, healing, exploring, or leading. The form matters less than the fire within. Once you identify your passion, commit to it wholeheartedly. Do not regard it as a side project or a weekend hobby. Instead, Let it become the nucleus of your emotional universe. Center your life around it rather than the opposite. Protect it from doubt, procrastination, and distraction, and nourish it with learning, practice, and unwavering commitment. Passion turns ordinary tasks into extraordinary missions. A person who writes simply to meet a deadline generates content, whereas someone who writes with passion creates art. A teacher delivering lessons for a paycheck may educate a class, but a passionate educator truly changes lives. The same task, when infused with passion, becomes a legacy. Emotions are integral to this transformation. When directed by passion, they become allies. Joy fuels progress, frustration signals growth, and curiosity guides decision-making. Even fear diminishes when passion leads the way because your ambition outweighs your fear of failure. It is vital to advocate fiercely for your passion. Not everyone will comprehend it. Some may doubt, dismiss, or even discourage you. But remember, your journey is yours to experience. When you lead with passion, your conviction will eventually silence skepticism and inspire those who once questioned you. Let today be the day you either reconnect with your passion or commit to finding it. Reflect on the moments when you felt most alive. What were you doing? Which topics consumed your attention to the extent that you lost track of time? What dreams resurfaced despite your efforts to suppress them? These are clues, emotional breadcrumbs guiding you toward your truest calling. Passion is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the emotion that brings color to life and the force that transforms ambition into achievement. When you align your work, goals, and identity with your passion, you become unstoppable. Allow your passion to lead, let your emotions follow, and witness your life evolve into something extraordinary. Life is in a perpetual state of evolution. Nothing remains unchanged. Circumstances shift, relationships evolve, opportunities appear and disappear, and the unexpected becomes normal. In a world like this, adaptability is not merely beneficial, but essential. While many perceive adaptability as a physical or mental attribute, its deepest force lies in emotional flexibility. Charles Darwin, who transformed our comprehension of life and evolution, aptly highlighted this principle. Frequently quoted for his biological survival theories, he recognized a more profound truth. It is not the strongest or most intelligent who triumph, but those most adaptable to change. At the core of adaptability is emotional resilience and agility. Emotional agility denotes the ability to remain grounded and responsive rather than reactive when circumstances alter. It is the capacity to face uncertainty with assurance, learn from shifting scenarios, and grow rather than crumble under pressure. Darwin himself encountered substantial criticism, resistance, and doubt while developing his groundbreaking theories. However, his emotional flexibility enabled him to remain patient, thoughtful, and tenacious, ultimately revolutionizing science and human thought. Consider your own life. How do you respond to unexpected changes, such as a sudden career transition, a failed plan, or an opportunity slipping away? Do you panic, resist, or shut down? Or can you pause, breathe, and adapt? The distinction between success and stagnation frequently resides in that fleeting moment between stimulus and response. In that space lies your power to choose. To foster emotional adaptability, begin with self-awareness. When faced with overwhelming change, refrain from responding impulsively. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what is this situation attempting to teach me? And how can I respond in alignment with my values and long-term objectives? Taking that moment for reflection can transform chaos into clarity. Secondly, embrace challenges as opportunities for emotional growth. Each time life presents an unexpected twist, consider it a training exercise. Adaptability, like any skill, strengthens through practice. The more you welcome discomfort with curiosity and courage, the more agile you become emotionally. What once unsettled you will eventually roll off your back. What previously seemed like disruption will evolve into transformation. Flexibility does not imply passivity or aimlessness. Rather, it involves maintaining a robust inner core while adjusting outward strategies. It means knowing your purpose while being willing to alter your path. Emotionally flexible individuals do not abandon their goals. Instead, they evolve their methods. They bend without breaking, shift without losing sight of their ultimate aim. In our ever-changing world, this kind of agility serves as a superpower. When navigating career transitions, personal changes, or global uncertainties, emotional adaptability allows you to maintain calmness, learn swiftly, and make prudent decisions. It enables you to grow through your experiences, converting trials into tools and setbacks into setups for success. Practice this principle daily. When plans falter, respond with curiosity rather than frustration. When people surprise you, seek understanding instead of judgment. When disappointment strikes, look for the hidden lesson. Over time, these small choices will cultivate an emotionally resilient mindset. Remember, while you cannot control all life events, you can influence your reactions. Your response will chart your path. As Darwin advised, it is not the strongest who thrive, but the most adaptable. True adaptability originates in your emotional landscape. Choose today to develop emotional flexibility, letting it guide you through uncertainties and serve as your strength amid doubt. Learning is an unending journey, one that knows no final destination. Each fact absorbed, every concept comprehended, and each skill mastered undergoes transformation, not solely on an intellectual level, but also emotionally. Emotional maturity is not static. It evolves, expands, and deepens alongside the continuous accumulation of knowledge. Each new lesson life presents provides an occasion to surpass prior versions of ourselves, to perceive more clearly, feel more profoundly, and act with greater wisdom. Few lives exemplify this truth more profoundly than that of Andrew Carnegie. Arriving in the United States as a poor immigrant from Scotland, he possessed every excuse to submit to adversity. Yet he did not. Carnegie chose learning as his weapon, turning books into mentors and experiences into classrooms. He famously declared, "A library outranks any other one thing a community can do to benefit its people." Carnegie's belief in the power of knowledge was not theoretical. Through relentless self-education, he constructed the world's largest steel empire. His emotional maturity, forged through years of struggle, discipline, and learning, equipped him to make decisions with clarity, to lead with vision, and to rise with integrity. Learning forms the root system of emotional growth. Each new piece of knowledge challenges your worldview, nudging you to reassess long-held beliefs, to empathize with alternative perspectives, and to manage your emotional reactions amid complexity. With every page you turn and every mistake you rectify, your capacity to remain calm under pressure, to think rationally in broken circumstances, and to act with humility and confidence deepens. This is the silent power of education. It shapes character as profoundly as it enhances intellect. Daily investment in self-improvement is not a luxury. It is a necessity. The world is in constant flux, and so must we be. This need not signify only formal education. Deep listening, careful observation, and consistent reflection equally represent essential learning experiences. When you commit to ongoing growth, you foster resilience. You train your mind to be curious instead of judgmental, open rather than rigid. You begin to regard failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Every skill you acquire and every insight you gain becomes part of your emotional toolkit. As your understanding deepens, your decisions sharpen. You become adept at weighing consequences and minimizing reactivity while enhancing responsiveness. Emotional intelligence is refined through experience and nurtured by knowledge. You learn not only how to achieve, but how to endure, adapt, and thrive. Within this continuous learning journey, true success takes shape. Not the mere success of wealth, but a rich life that influences others, stands steadfast in crises, and knows itself. Emotional maturity is not conferred by age or social status. It is earned through conscious growth, spurred by learning. Thus, let learning form your daily ritual. Let curiosity be your constant companion. Read books, ask questions, seek mentorship, and welcome feedback. Each new lesson learned not only amplifies your intelligence, It enhances your wisdom, fortitude, and wholeness. This encapsulates the promise of continuous learning, the path toward enduring success. A positive mental attitude is your most powerful emotional ally. It is the invisible force that elevates you when life weighs you down. While circumstances may lie beyond your control, your reactions to them are always within your grasp. That response begins with your mindset. When optimism and hope inform your mental lens, you unlock extraordinary emotional strength that transforms your approach to life. Norman Vincent Peale, a pioneer of positive thinking, highlighted this principle when he emphasized the transformative nature of a constructive outlook. He advocated not blind optimism, but a deliberate, faith-driven perspective that looks beyond temporary setbacks. He repeatedly showcased how changing one's thoughts could lead to changed lives. His philosophy was simple yet impactful. You are not beaten unless you believe you are. Your emotions are profoundly shaped by your internal dialogue. The narrative you tell yourself on a daily basis becomes the soundtrack of your life. Negative thoughts act as heavy anchors, sapping your emotional energy, distorting your judgment, and restricting your potential. In contrast, positive thoughts serve as wings. They lift you, energize you, and broaden your horizons. Every challenge morphs into a lesson, and every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. This is not mere fantasy. It is the tangible power of a positive mental attitude. Positivity does not ignore problems. Rather, it redefines how to perceive and approach them. Having a positive mindset trains you to inquire, "What can I learn from this?" instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" It redirects your focus from blame to responsibility and from obstacles to opportunities. When you adopt this perspective, your emotions align with your objectives. You find motivation even amid difficulties, remain concentrated when others falter, and cultivate resilience in adversity. Make a decision today to become the architect of your emotional landscape. Start with awareness. Observe your internal dialogues. Do they construct or deconstruct your confidence? Are they rooted in hope or fear? Choose to nourish your mind with uplifting, empowering, and encouraging thoughts. Read inspiring literature, associate with positive influences, and engage in kind self-talk. These small, consistent habits sculpt the emotional environment you inhabit. The advantages of nurturing a positive mental attitude extend beyond personal success. It is contagious. Just as negativity can drag down a group, positivity can elevate it. When you exhibit optimism, others respond. Your words inspire, your actions motivate, and your presence becomes a source of empowerment for those around you. In teams, families, and communities, a single person's positive mindset can trigger a chain reaction of hope and productivity. Let your attitude become your legacy. Decide that, regardless of circumstances, you will respond with faith, courage, and purpose. Life will challenge you, but your mindset will determine whether those challenges conquer you or shape who you become. Positive thinking does not shield you from pain. Rather, it is a sword that elevates you through it. In every moment, you have a choice. Choose to notice the good, to speak with kindness, and to believe in your potential. When you nurture a positive mental attitude, you not only enhance your emotional well-being, but also unlock the gateway to personal greatness, allowing you to inspire others as well. Let your light shine brightly. Allow your mindset to uplift those around you. Let your emotional strength act as the spark igniting transformation wherever you find yourself. Our emotions profoundly influence our habits. The daily sensations of hope, frustration, excitement, or doubt directly affect the choices we make and the routines we establish. Emotions are not fleeting. They are the silent architects of our behaviors. When left unchecked, they can lead us toward impulsiveness and inconsistency. However, when managed thoughtfully, they become formidable partners in crafting a purposeful life. An exemplary demonstration of this emotional mastery is Benjamin Franklin. Rising from humble origins to become a statesman, inventor, writer, and one of the most respected figures of his time, Franklin understood the crucial link between emotions and habits. He designed a personal self-improvement system centered on 13 virtues, including temperance, industry, and resolution. Each week, he dedicated himself to mastering one virtue, meticulously recording his progress in a journal. This structured framework for personal development was not merely about external actions. It was deeply rooted in emotional discipline. He recognized that to live meaningfully, he must align his emotions with his intentions. Your daily actions form the bedrock of your future. Every habit you establish, good or bad, is born from an emotional cue. Stress may lead to procrastination, boredom may incite distraction, and fear may prompt avoidance. Imagine if you could pause, examine the emotion behind a habit, and choose differently. This is where emotional discipline comes into play, providing the tools to respond instead of react, and act with intention rather than impulse. Reflect on your present habits. Are they in alignment with the future you envision? Do they reflect the version of yourself you aspire to become? If the answer is no, it is time to reframe your approach. Start by identifying one habit that no longer serves you. Ask yourself which emotion fuels this habit: anxiety, insecurity, or apathy? Then consciously replace it with an action that supports your growth. Consistently repeat this process, and you will witness a quiet revolution within yourself. Emotional discipline does not advocate for suppression, but rather understanding and redirection. It entails observing your feelings without being dominated by them. When you master this skill, you gain control over your habits and, by extension, your destiny. Begin small, rise with purpose, set intentions, practice gratitude, and cultivate patience. These actions, when consistently repeated, become habits. And when these habits align with your vision, they will create the life you desire. The most accomplished individuals are not those devoid of doubt or fear, but those who refuse to let such emotions dictate their actions. They construct their lives on a foundation of positive habits. They understand that greatness is not a single act, but a routine. Their discipline is not unforgiving. It is purposeful, allowing them to maintain course when others waver, adhere to focus amidst distractions, and persevere when challenges escalate. Emotions will inevitably be part of the human experience, but they do not have to dictate your actions. Use them as signals rather than overlords. Let them inform you without commanding you. With consistent emotional discipline, you can shape your habits into tools for success. Become the author of your daily routine. Forge rituals that elevate your mind and body. Design your life with intention, one habit at a time. As Franklin did, develop a personal system that mirrors the person you aspire to be, tracking your progress, celebrating your consistency, and remaining emotionally grounded. Ultimately, it is not talent or luck that crafts a meaningful existence, but the accumulation of disciplined habits, forged and maintained by emotional wisdom and unwavering intent. Your legacy is ultimately defined by how well you manage your emotions. Martin Luther King Jr. continues to inspire not only due to his achievements, but because of his exceptional emotional control in the face of profound adversity. Reflect deeply on the legacy you wish to leave behind. How would you like to be remembered? Each emotion you master today contributes to the impact you will have tomorrow. Choose now to harness your emotional power to positively affect others. Embrace each day as an opportunity to build your legacy, leaving a lasting mark through your emotional mastery, influencing lives and shaping history. Today, take the reins of your emotions, your most potent force for change. Your journey commences now. Decide, act, and construct your legacy.